When I was 16, my whole world was turned upside down. I made one of the most horrific decisions in my life, and it cost me. I was charged with first-degree murder, armed robbery with a firearm, and sentenced to 2 natural life terms in prison without the possibility of parole. And I've served 31 years in prison. And my life has been a disaster.
What's up, people? This is JD on Redemption Kings. Today, y'all, man, listen, check this out, man. We got a hot topic going on here today that I don't think a lot of people like to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about it, man. It ain't about what's going on here in politics in the real world. And I don't think we're ready for that yet, even though in the future that might be a topic that we can discuss about. But right now, I want to stick strictly to Florida prison stories. Absolutely. And one of the things that I've seen in prison, man, and this is, not a single man story. This is a many man story. Absolutely. When I first came to ACI in 1995, right? When I walked into that dormitory, man, everything was going on, man. I'm talking about, you could find any drug, man, people was getting beat up, people was getting hit with hammers. I mean, where you get a hammer from in prison? You feel what I'm saying? This was my first thought. How you get a hammer? I didn't know they had a maintenance department and all this other stuff going on. Welding, where you can learn, and education. I didn't know they had this stuff. But people use what they got to make money. But these dudes, the ramifications of it is right here. So when I walked in, I'm like, dang, everything going on. But one of the most deprived things that I've seen in prison was cats who guns. The gunners, man. It was like nothing I ever seen before. Man, listen, check this out. When you're young, like we are, your blood hot, hormones everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go in the bathroom and you're gonna do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then eventually you go the other way. You know what I'm saying? That's how, because people, I ain't had a Holy Spirit. I ain't had God in my life like that then. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I use, and I'm not trying to be explicit on it, but it is what it is. It's the truth. You feel what I'm saying? To get myself by. But check this out, man. These dudes used to use their imagination. And man, in the dormitory, the dudes used to push the bunks back from the wall because the windows was against the wall. And when the women used to be out there watching the inmates come up and down the line to go to the child hall, you had 20 dudes lined up at the wall with they out gunning. Listen, they ain't caring about the dude that's right next to them. The only thing they mind and their eyes is concentrate on is this female out there. Yeah. That lady is concentrated on this female. I used to see that job like, man, what is they doing, man? Man, them babies out there. I'm like, babies? And man, sometimes it be a mom like 70 years old, makeup, wrinkled, you know what I'm saying? But she might just have her panties on today. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? These dudes is gone. You feel me? Gunners, man. Gunners. I used to have to question myself, man, is what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, in my room secretly and all this stuff. Because, man, yeah, I had that problem at one time. Bad. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't doing what these dudes did. These dudes, listen, y'all ain't gonna believe this here. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this here. Check this out. I knew a dude, man. I don't know if I told this story before. I knew a dude. This dude was at least 5'3", 5'4", probably 5'5", but he was a professional bodybuilder. The man was this wide, massive. I'm talking about when you see them dudes that got muscles and they look deformed. This is how this dude looked. And I knew this dude, his name was Keith. I'll never forget this dude. And man, Keith was real cool, but you wouldn't know that this dude was a master gunner. The man was a master gunner. Check this out. Because the Keith was so short, and he was so big, the officers used to let Keith come out and clean up the hallways, clean out the officer station, all this stuff. So he was like their house man. If anybody wanted to exchange, like say I had some chips that I want to give my homeboy in another dorm, he'd come to me, I'll call Keith, and Keith would go get him chips. I'd have to give him a soup or something, but he'll do that for me, right? But, Keith used to also clean their bathrooms, the staff. So in the staff bathroom is real big, and I don't know if y'all ever seen this here, but when you get them big toilet paper boxes, like 100, 150 toilet papers in, that we got in prison, the box be about like this here. So listen, man, listen what Keith did. Keith took 2 boxes, cut the middle out, and taped both of the sides together to make it look like it was 2 boxes sitting on top of each other, and stuck it in the staff bathroom right in front of the toilet. Keith used to go in there in the bathroom, and he used to put a crate down and sit down under the box in front of the toilet. And he used to gun everybody that used to come in there, and they ain't even know it. They ain't even know it. I ain't even know Keith was doing this until he got caught. Listen. Hey, listen, this how he got caught. Because I'm going to give y'all the whole spiel. This how he got caught, right? So, one day, a female staff member that Keith really, 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 really liked came up and down, right? And she was using the bathroom, man, right in front of Keith. He had little holes in there that you couldn't even see he was looking. And man, Keith got so off the chain gunning, master, that he moved the box. He moved the box. And the woman seen the box move. She seen the box move. So she tensed up a little bit, but Keith didn't notice it. Keith kept doing this thing. He in the throes of passion. You know what I'm saying? Watching this girl take her business. And so she get up, normal, put a pad, do what she got to do, wash her hands, and she leave. But she leave and go get the inspector and every officer she can find and tell them somebody's in the bathroom in that box, right? So check this out. The inspector coming up. But listen, he take him a leak. He take him a leak right in front of Keith in that box, right? And so while he was taking a leak, he told the dude, he said, listen, man, he said, I know you in that box, right? He said, I'm gonna give you one opportunity to come up out of that box. I'm gonna sit every officer in here. So listen, check this out. Keith in there half naked in the box. Hey, Keith busts out the box like He-Man. Listen, this guy here is He-Man. Black He-Man. And man, he bundled people over coming about the bathroom, man. It took about 10 officers to tackle this dude down and put the cuffs on him. I couldn't believe that Keith was a gunner like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You got some cats, right, that'll sit in the grass in the prison, and they'll see a female or wig or a hat. They might think this lady is in a gun tower. They'll sit in the tower. They'll sit in the grass, and they'll gun this lady in the tower. Actually thinking it. Sometimes it be men up there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes them dudes had them ladies scheduled. They see them come, see them climb up the tower, and they know, oh boy, Lord, she'll eat them. But she looked at me the other day and winked the eye. Man, she spoke to me the other day, man. I know she wanted. You see what type of mindsets? Listen, this stuff transformed dudes that I know into other people, man. Unrecognizable people, man. You know what I'm saying? That junk in prison is a trap. And it breaks them, man. It breaks their mind. It breaks their mind. That is a spiritual bondage, and I know it because I had a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That junk there will get you and grab you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more books in prison. They don't make no more black tails. high society, nothing. You ain't getting nothing. The only thing you probably get in there is a book, a penthouse. That's probably, and some gym magazines and all this other stuff. All that stuff that people used to go and get off with. All that stuff out the window. So now these inmates in there choosing to look at these officers, your sisters and mothers, you know what I'm saying, God, daughters and stuff like that. They looking at these people and they going ham with them. So DOC had to do something. They started giving sex charges out to these dudes, man. And some of them needed it. Man, listen, the worst person I ever seen, listen, y'all ain't gonna believe this dude, he was about 60. But he was about 5'3". Listen to me, this dude was one of the most notorious guys. Every time he came out, I'd be like, man, listen, man, get away from me. Because I don't want nothing you got in your hand and none of that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want none of that because it got to be all nasty. But this dude was the rawest gunner I ever seen in my life. Man, I seen this dude, but listen, we had a Puerto Rican classification officer. And she used to come to the dorm and deliver, get the little grievances out the boxes and everything. And the grievance box was inside our dorm. We just had to go in and put the grievance in the box. So, and right by the grievance box is our laundry basket. Got all our laundry, all our laundry and put it in the bag, put it in there. Man, one day, this cat jumped into the laundry basket because he was short enough. You know what I'm saying? Not to be seen. And man, this dude gunned this girl. So we got hip too. We like, man, don't be gunning in this basket. You understand what I'm saying? We got all our clothes in, man. We were ready to whoop this dude about this junk, man, because that's nasty. Who does that? So, man, this dude said, you know what, y'all right, I respect that. Man, this man went and got a string and tied it to his private part and tied the other one to his feet. And when the lady used to come around, he used to tap his feet like this here. Listen. He used to tap his feet. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, I know this dude ain't getting off like that. He be like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I couldn't do nothing but laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? But this is the mindset of a lot of them dudes in there, man. And, you know, you got dudes that come to prison and they get turned out. And then they get let out to these females out here in the world, in our society, that's trying to find a good man, and they get burnt by that. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not cool, man. That's not cool at all. I put stuff like that out there because I'm redeemed. You know what I'm saying? And I want people out there to understand that they can be redeemed too. Now check this out, I'm not judging a gunner. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making them aware because a lot of people, they don't like to see themselves in their element. They don't want nobody to see them and recognize and tell them who and what they look like. You understand what I'm saying? But the only way to change and understand you need to change is to get put up on yourself. So, as, you know what I'm saying, JD in Redemption King, I'm gonna put you up on yourself. I'm gonna make sure, you understand what I'm saying, that you got it together, man. Because, you know, it's things out here in our life that's a menace to us. You know what I'm saying? And some of these things that's a menace to us is things that we like to do. See, them dudes love the gun because it's a natural thing. They like to get off. We was born to get off. You understand what I'm saying? But being in an impossible situation, or, you know, an unnatural situation like prison, especially down south, because up north, you know what I'm saying, you can get a conjugal visit. You know what I'm saying? Down here, listen to me. Man, these people ain't playing down here. You know what I'm saying? You got two things going on. Tourism and the Department of Corrections. That's what's happening down here in Florida. Tourism and the Department of Corrections. You better believe it. I mean, it might not be, it's probably a prison in every city, almost. Either a prison or a road camp in every city in Florida. Y'all better think about that before you go out there and make a next move without thinking. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, you might have been out here in the streets knocking off bad babies. But when you go in prison, it ain't nothing but dudes up and down unless you got that type of finesse and swag that you can catch you a female. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought in the past I had that type of swag, and I'm gonna talk about that sometime, to do that, right? You know, but even with that come problems. You feel me saying? And that don't even last. You feel me? And listen, one thing about prison, nothing lasts there. Everything changed, man. Don't nothing stay the same. You know, I done been through some spots, and I done seen a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And one of the most horrible things I ever seen in prison, you know what I'm saying, was a dude that was up on himself, had everything going on for himself, and he let a thing like masturbation break him. Man, I ain't gonna even name no name. It was a dude at South Bay that was an NFL superstar. NFL superstar. He used to hang out with us, and he had a problem with guns. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about just the low man. Man, a high man get it too. A high man can fall in that cell of addiction. Absolutely. Listen, check this out. I ain't gonna even lie. You know, one of my homeboys, one of my dogs, man, I mean, this is my partner, and he kind of impressed me. He kind of impressed me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because dude had something to think with, but he had a gunner problem. And a female officer changed his whole direction. Check this out now. This is a story my dog told me. He said, man, one day, you know, female that he liked, man, I mean, her butt like this here. You know what I'm saying? She's bad to death. And you know, for them females that be coming to prison, security officers that be working there, you know y'all become bad. Y'all come in there like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's shame on y'all too, to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Some of you come when I used to be in prison, you be like, hey man, listen, we just come to give y'all a little eye candy, but don't go overboard with it now. I'm like, man, I respect the eye candy. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather look at her than look at all these dudes in here. You know what I'm saying? But with that particular situation, my dog, right? You know, the girl came in the office station. He was like, man, I'm finna get her. I want her that bad. So he said he went to start the gunner girl. And he said the girl looked up like this here and see him doing that. I said, I know you ain't doing what I thought you was doing. And he was like, what you thought I was doing? You was holding on to something you weren't supposed to be holding on to. He said, man, you lying. She told him to come to the office station. So my dog thought he was finna go to jail. He was like, oh man, he would have packed his stuff up. So he go to the office station. The girl told him this. He said, listen. She said, you know, some females, they see that and they look at it as being funny because they might think you cute. But once they see it 5 or 6 times, they don't think it's cute no more. They think it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? They think you like got sexual problems. You know, they think you got like jump out the tree problems. You know what I'm saying? That's how they look at that. And he said, she was like, man, she told my dog, man, I would rather you come to me and ask me for than to see you do that. So my dog asked her, he said, man, can I have some? And she was like, hey, no, I should lock you up, man. Yeah, not me, I don't do that. And so he was like, he said, man, I had to try. I was like, man, you idiot. That girl can lock you up for anything. So, right, she told him that. So guess what? After that, my dog went to asking all kind of people. He ain't go do no gunning no more. He went to try to get the real thing. He came up a couple times till they transferred him. He came up a few times until they transferred him. You know, because that junk put you out there if you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That game ain't for, you know what I'm saying, the faint heart, not in prison. Because you got to understand in prison, mess around with a female, that they got other things going on at home too. You understand what I'm saying? They world don't concentrate. Some females look at you, okay, man, since I'm at work, you a little something I play with at work till I go home. To the real thing. So they don't really care about what you got going on. Only thing they come to work to do is play. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you looking at this thing as any other thing than that, you wrong. And you finna get drugged all out there. I'm talking about you finna get drugged for infinity, times infinity. Absolutely. You know, and sometimes it starts from that. I done seen females, you know, like dudes and be like, man, get in the shower, gummy. You know what I'm saying? Just to see if the dude will do it. I done got asked that before. And I was like, man, you know what? Nah, hey, nah, man. Shoot, I ain't what I'm gaining by watching you watch me. You know what I'm saying? You come over here and let me touch you, and I did. We could do something better. Nah, you ain't gonna get me like that. I got too much morals for myself about that. You know what I'm saying? But back then, I would have went for that flip flop though, like that. But you know, my dog, he had it bad. He had it bad, man. And it's plenty of people in prison, man, that got it bad like that. They develop a habit of gunning so much till that don't satisfy them, just like drugs. You know what I'm saying? You smoke so much till you ain't satisfied with them. You try to do something to add upon that high. That's how these dudes in prison did. They added upon that sexuality and end up falling into homosexuality. Absolutely, I done seen that. So I done seen, you know, both sides of the coin. I done seen people come straight, turn gay. I done seen people I know are straight. Listen, I done seen people I know. You know what I'm saying? And when they turn and go the other way, when I talk about go the other way, I'm talking about arch eyebrows, everything. You know what I'm saying? They go all the way out there. Dudes that you done hung out with, you done smoked out with. You know what I'm saying? You talk trash about stories about, yeah, these same dudes, you see them 10 years later, they dressed out. You be like, man, what the hell happened? You understand what I'm saying? You be like, man, what happened? So, and you can remember if you look back on where it started from and where they couldn't control it and where it flipped to. You understand what I'm saying? Because they probably say, you know what? I'm going to go over here and do this, a little bit of this. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to get me a little hand and I'm going to be cool. And that turned into something else. And then the other person be like, hey, man, I've been giving you this and that for the last 3-4 months. When you going to give me something? Because if you don't give me something, I'm going to stop giving you what I've been giving you. So dude might be like, man, you tried me, I ain't gay. But you can let this dude do what he do to you. You understand what I'm saying? But now you ain't gay. But then 6 months later, this dude tell you he ain't gonna do that, and now you mad and you fall because you want that so bad. Till you say, you know what, I'm gonna flip. And that's where it falls at. And I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. That can go for any situation, drugs, that, any situation that you fall in, that you put yourself into, and you let allow those things to rule over who you are. See, there's so many things in this world that we can become redeemed by. You understand what I'm saying? There's so many things that you can take back. See, you know, out here in society, yeah, I get tempted to try. Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? But I know how important I am, the substance of me. You understand what I'm saying? I understand what resides in me. So if I'm gonna give myself away, it's gonna be to what I think is for me. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, some people in prison, in that unnatural situation, you know, some of them people got life sentences like I had. Some of them people in prison for 25 years, 30 years. 5 years is long in prison to me. You know what I'm saying? 18 months. You know what I'm saying? 11-29 in prison. It's too long for me. Absolutely. But in them years, over the years, man, them dudes do that time. Believe me, people get tried. I got tried so many times. And, you know, I used to walk a walk that if that come to me like that, I was like, man, listen, I'm gonna go all the way out. But I had to understand that, you know, people are who they are. And sometimes, just like we be out here driving and you think for others, in life you got to think for others too, and how they approach you. You know what I'm saying? Because we can come offended fast by how people approach us. You know, how people bring things to us. You feel me? So, you know, I can keep that type of open mind, but that mind came from watching these clowns in prison fall to that and almost watching myself fall. You understand what I'm saying? Not to the homosexuality stuff, but to the gunning stuff. You understand what I'm saying? It's a thin line to everything we do, and they lead to boxes if you don't control it. You know what I'm saying? I mean boxes with locks and keys. You'll find yourself locked into what you love if you want to pay attention. And a lot of people in prison fall for that. A lot of people in prison get their head bust for that. I had one dude, my partner, man, but this dude, listen, you know, you got some dumb dudes in prison. Let's just face it, you got some dumb dudes in prison. You know, you got some dudes that don't know how to think. I had a partner, man, this dude was a boxer. This dude was 6'3", but he was an old man, but he could box, he could fight. Fist like this here, knuckles sticking out by that far. Dude could fight, he could throw one. And man, listen, the officers loved him. They loved him because they knew he was a butt kicker. You hear me? So they made him a houseman, the head houseman in the dormitory. And one day a dude snuck and stayed inside the dorm. And the only reason why he snuck and stayed outside the dorm was because he wanted to gun a certain officer that was in there. So he stayed inside. He almost accomplished his goal. Until my dog Goldie, and that's his name, y'all, Goldie. I'm gonna put my props, give props, what props do. Man, Goldie caught this dude gunning, and listen to me. He thought he was back in the 70s in the rings of something CI. How he was hitting this dude. I'm talking about uppercut. Dude swung, weave, bam. I'm like, man, this dude ain't 65, this dude 30. How he whooping this dude, blood everywhere. You hear me? Because this dude couldn't keep his hand out his pants. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? And if some of y'all out there is guilty of that, man, and y'all got it together, I applaud y'all too. But man, it's some people in prison, man, that I know, you know what I'm saying, get out on that tip. And, you know, I just seen them go 0 to 100. And it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny in the end. You know what I'm saying? Because you find yourself in a game you can't get out of. You find yourself in a situation that you wish you never got in. And then this is the thing too, y'all. When you come out here in society, you know, people in there, they doing that, they come out here in society, and you got your daughters, granddaughters, your aunts and uncle, you got your mother, and these dudes up in there getting twisted. And their mind getting twisted because of that. You know what I'm saying? To all you soldiers out there who done time and kept it real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, yeah, kept it real with yourself. And didn't slip and slide, man. Because that wasn't you. Now, if you came and that was you, then hey, that was you. I ain't hating. Believe that. And I mind my business. I don't worry about the next person. But at the same time, to y'all that have been in prison, especially as long as I have, and still got your mind, I applaud y'all. Absolutely, I do. Because it's hard. It's hard. It's hard in prison on every level. On every level it's hard. But you know what? When you become a king, you know how to step on every level. Every level, y'all. Every level, absolutely. And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn to suppress that urge to follow others and fall down into that same pattern. And even out here, I'm suppressing the urge to follow others and fall down that same pattern. See, it don't matter if you on streets or in prison. Life teach you things. People that teach. Nature teaches us things. You understand me? You just got to be paying attention in order to receive it. You feel me? But that's nasty for people who handle their business like that in prison. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes be in the kitchen gunning, and then when they come and grab your french fries and put them on your plate, man, don't touch my french fries. Don't touch my french fries at all. I see you back there. And I'm talking about in the kitchen, it's horrible. Because in the kitchen, you got big aprons that people put on. You understand what I'm saying? They put on these big aprons, long boots, water boots. And our blues, we bagging. These dudes have blues, they bust out. That's what they call them. Because a whole crotch be going out of them. And they had a thing covered. And the only thing they in the kitchen to do is guns. And when the people tell them, bro, hey, get on the line and serve this food, them people ain't thinking of it. That dude, wipe that stuff off and go serve your tray. Absolutely. So that's why we be as the gunners enough. Because they get to a point where they don't care. Yeah. Please don't gun. And the definition of gun is shoot people up, not with a regular gun, but with another one. Man, listen, y'all. I know y'all like these stories, man. Like, comment, and subscribe to JD, your boy. I'm signing out. Redemption Kings, baby. We gonna holler.